Welcome to 9 Times. Last week I designed this, which is a large flying pirate ship that I submitted for last month's Spoilite Hobby Time Art Challenge. In part 1, I go over the technology that allows this thing to fly and go through the process of getting it to this point in the design. If you want to check out that video, I have it linked in the description. This video is part 2, and I'm going to be coming up with the rough layout of the interior, and then designing some of the weapons for the ship. First, the rooms. I made a cross-section view of the ship, but then decided creating a list of rooms I'll need would be more efficient than just trying to wing it like I was going to. Kitchens, dining hall, cabins, captain's quarters, guns, gun platforms, armory, gardens, engine rooms, crow's nest, lifeboats, open areas, disguises room, cargo, bridge, navigation, medical, grapple hook / boarding hook, quartermaster, and secondary ship. I then give each room a number so I wouldn't have to write out each little box while I'm trying to figure this thing out. Unfortunately, I won't have enough time to include all of these, but I can at least start working off of this list. The front seemed like a good place to start, and I knew I wanted to at least include the bridge and navigation. I knew the bridge should be the one to have the full view out of the windows up front, so that went in between the two front pieces of the ship. Navigation sits above that with a nice view out of either side, and then above that is the captain's quarters, also having a decent sized window. Then I realized it might be a decent idea to give the garden a window, and I didn't want it exposed to all the elements above deck, so I stuck that under the bridge. These rooms created the different floors of the interior, which pretty much extended all the way back from there. You know what? Instead of narrating over a bunch of boxes with numbers being drawn, I'll just show you that list here so you can pause and see what's going on. Okay, there it is for the most part. The smaller blank boxes towards the front are stairs, and the big empty spots on either side of the engine are where most of the cannons are going to be. Alright, time for the weapons. Some of the weapon technology here is going to be similar to that one video I did a while ago, designing a gem goo gun. First, I wanted something that pretty much drops bombs on whatever it's flying above. Not explosive or anything, but maybe slightly acidic, or just really hot. Maybe they could be bombs, who knows? We'll see. It will drop a glob of whatever it is, with the intention of disabling specific parts of a ship or building, or whatever else needs to be disabled. The symmetry tool in Clip Studio Paint was super useful here, and made it to where I could just draw one side and it would be copied exactly the same on the other side. With that done, I moved back to the ship and placed it underneath, towards the back. I'm only adding one of these because it's not going to be useful in every situation. Then I wanted to create a grappling hook or boarding hook that gets launched into another ship, to either mess up its sails, drag it around, or bring them together for boarding. The long spike in the middle has two pieces that spread out when it pierces through something, and then the two arms behind that have barbs to remain hooked in. Now for the cannons. I did some off-camera sketching because it took me a while to come up with a design I liked, and one that felt like it fit. Again, a similar goo projectile technology, which I'll have to explore in a video at some point in the future. I'll put that on the list. I added 3 of these to the ship for now, 2 forward facing and 1 at the back. Then I moved on to create some ballistas. Or is it ballistae? Ballistae. Okay, I just looked it up and apparently it can be either one. Let me know which plural you prefer in the comments. I don't know which I prefer. Ballista, ballistae. Nothing too special about these. One change I might implement later is having 2 boats attached instead of just 1. What I mean is having it look like an X from the front, or at the very least, maybe I'll just make it lay horizontal. That's what I meant to do initially, but I didn't feel like they would look as cool in a profile view that way. I threw those guys above everything else, 1 pointing forward and 1 behind, but these are also built on a swivel, so they aren't locked into that position. And finally, I added those same cannons to the empty slots I mentioned before, in a more traditional pirate ship way. 7 on each side, with the other 3 I added, comes to a total of 17 cannons, 2 ballistas, 3 grappling hooks, and 1 mortar thingy. There we have it. Like I said, I wasn't able to add everything yet, like the secondary ship, lifeboats, and plenty of other things. But that's alright. I'd love to detail the actual rooms at some point, but don't worry, the next video isn't going to be part 3 just yet. Let me know if that's something you would like to see in a future video. Maybe I'll even introduce the captain and crew. Thanks for watching, and make sure you check out Boilai's video, linked in the description, to see his and his other patrons' contributions to the challenge. Catch you later.